Who shall I take first? This is a great deal of power. Daniel, I'll take you first.
Thank you, Chair. Daniel Zeichner, Cambridge Labour Parliamentary candidate. Two questions. First on the Older People's Services. And firstly, thank you for your belated publication of the pre-qualification questionnaire. I think we're all waiting with bated breath to see what questions you asked that Serco could possibly pass. So we'll look at that with interest. But my question is, I recently contacted all the GP practices in Cambridge to ask them about this process, about how they felt about it, and about how involved they felt about it. You won't be surprised there was quite polarised opinions, some strongly in favour, say more strongly against what's going on. But the striking thing was almost all of them said they didn't feel very involved in the process, and they didn't feel they had the time or the resources to be meaningfully involved in the process. And so I suppose my question to you is, what do you plan to do to address this when you're going forward with such an important change and you don't seem to actually have the support of many of your general practice colleagues? My second question relates to the 111 out-of-hours service. I've had people say to me that there are some concerns now about the future of the out-of-hours service. I wonder if you could tell me when it's next going to be tendered and what the implications are, in your view, of the decision to award the 111 contract to another provider. What are the implications for the current out-of-hours service? Thank you.
I'm going to, because there's so many of you, I'm going to take batches of 4 and then we'll answer them in batches of 4.
That's right. Why?
Algie, may I suggest that you start answering Daniel's questions?
So Danny, thanks for your 2 questions. I'll answer them in the order you gave them. So you referred first of all to survey of GP practices around the Older People's Programme. I guess to be honest, I'm not surprised to hear that there's a variety of feedback around that. We're a very big CCG. We have 108 practices, something like 870 GPs, but what you have here is the elected leadership of those GP practices. And you'll know that the way that we're constituted is we have 8 local groups, and each of the leadership teams of those 8 local groups that sit beneath this governing body are elected by all the practices, by all GPs in fact. And as an aside, that process of election is just about to launch again as part of our kind of cycle, as you may know. Notwithstanding, we do a huge amount, as you'd expect, around engagement with practices. Neil has a regular newsletter which covers our Older People's Programme all the way to in detail. We have all practice member events every quarter or so, which are very well attended. And of course, key topics like the Older People's Programme more widely is discussed at all of our local commissioning groups. Arnold, our clinical lead, I know, spends a great deal of time out about talking with practice and with GPs, but I would fully accept your point that engagement varies and understanding of what we're doing varies, but I can assure you that we do work and will continue to work really hard on engagement. On your question about 111 and out of hours, I think your question about kind of the timetabling. So what I can tell you is the predecessor organisations to the CCG, the 2 main PCTs, Cambridgeshire and Peterborough, when they agreed their plans for launching 111, as was national guidance at the time, was that they would introduce as a pilot 111 and then move to a procurement with a new service kicking off in April 15. Now, that was the PCT's decision, predecessor PCT's decision, and this governing body will be reviewing that over the coming weeks, and we'll of course bring that back to our public meeting when we've had some chance to think through some of the changes to 111 and some of the changes in government policy around urgent care more widely. But that was the minuted decision of the PCTs. Going back quite a few months.